Action.
Yeah, they may be ugly, but they move like shit off a shovel. Twin V12 engines. 2-inch armour plating, they'll take anything from 30mm rounds to chemical weapons. Just a ticket for a night on the town.
The world of Doomsday is very real. Wanted to make it metal, solid, so that we could smash things off it.
So this is David, and he's responsible for the design of the APC such as it is. And he's given me no end of trouble.
Pretty pictures.
Yeah, pretty pictures that reality and don't seem to coincide. This is what they're going to work with. It's looking a little tatty by now. And the most amazing part is that this was a locked off sort of dimensional design. And every drawing since bears no relation whatsoever to this drawing.
There's the two seating positions for the driver and the co-driver, and there's seating positions in the back here for the other guys. There's the hatch with a drop-down ladder inside so they can get in and out.
It's also removable so you can see which ones are going to be changed around for the two different APCs, because there's going to be a military one and a medical one. And various panels on the vehicles will be different.
There's also racks. There's the bed for the scene that the girls brought in and laid on the stretcher. So that drops out of this side here. With marks on the where all the Flory tubes are, the keynote tubes, kind of all on both sides running along.
Fantastic.
Trying to work out with Simon, the designer, exactly how and why he wants these things to look the way they do. Trying to make the practicalities work in terms of the space inside of them. And trying to get them built on time. The trouble with the vehicle is that every little part, if one little part changes, it makes every other part change. So it's a matter of making decisions sort of very early on and then trying to stick to them.
At some point you're going to say, this is called posing to the director, because the wheel's not actually on yet, they're not ready to go on, but we're just making it look pretty so it looks like we're doing some work, because most of the time we sit around and do beer.
We're putting kind of armour-plated glass in the front because there are scenes where they drive through brick walls. There are guys kind of hammering their way into in through the windscreens with an axe.
Everyone is down! Shit!
So it needs to look like it's real armour-plated glass, so it will be.
These are the discs we had to manufacture every single item on the APCs, including the brake discs. And this is a water-cut piece of steel, which we're going to skim up, and will be used for stopping it, hopefully. So we're down to the very last thing we're manufacturing is the disc.
Took 7 weeks to build them, and an extra 4 or 5 weeks before that to design them, draw them up, get the sizes. Yes, it's for real.
Built these things a few weeks ago, got permission to do so. We had 10 weeks to build them from scratch, and tonight it's its last moment as it's going to roll over. The gag is the body of the APC will hit this ramp, slide up the ramp and flip over. That's what we're hoping. A barrel roll. Well done. So we built the suspension very strong for this purpose. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably put it back on its wheels, and we'd have to do a lot of work on it because we've got fluids running out everywhere. But basically, it's hung up very, very well. Very pleased. We got a dent in the crumple zone, which is pretty cool. That's there to protect the driver and so on. Yeah, and it survived really well. We're very pleased.
We've got a great opportunity with Sol's character
taken his beautiful classic Jaguar and covered it in human skin, all kind of really badly sewn together.
And there's little bits of ear and nose sewn in there. It's disgusting, man.
It's warped as hell, which is quite appealing to some people.
It's got skeletal hands holding mirrors as wing mirrors and stuff like that. So, you know, we've got a great opportunity to kind of explore that.
The car's got absolutely no ground clearance, which was wonderful at first until they decided that in the script it has to go off-roading, which means that it's got quite a lot of underbody protection because it tends to skid around on the grass a lot. We kept it really nice and low. We had a lot of difficulty getting the tyres inside the arches to keep the original arch shape, because actually a Jaguar is quite a narrow car.
We dressed the seats with cowskin, and then we made all the skeleton parts for the windows to move. The skins, we dressed it, glued it with latex and sewed it together with rope that we dunked into latex. Spikes are soft, so you cannot hurt yourself, so it wouldn't hurt the actors. Body in front is just body filler that we sculpted on top. The skulls are also just a plastic with latex over.
It's a good fun car, it does about 100 miles an hour. So let's go for a drive.
Hi. The Marauders, the Cannibal Marauders of Glasgow, are an astonishing creation. I'm so proud of them.
They've got the luxury as their characters of having every car available to them that's parked up in Glasgow. Everybody's dead except them. So with their spare time that you would have when you're all alone in the country, these kids have got the best bits of different cars.
They've taken bits and pieces of all vehicles and stuck them all together and just made the best kind of vehicles that they possibly can.
They have to use what they have around them. They have to use the elements of what they have around them, and they have to sort of then have bits and pieces of what remained. And you're talking about Glasgow, and you're talking about Glasgow 30 years in the future, and you're leaving kind of aggressive kids alone.
Obviously, there's a little element of that that's similar to the Mad Max films. We've got a great opportunity to take it a little bit further.
And the cars they drive are astonishing.
If you like, you can climb in, I can take you for a drive, because this is fun.
This is very marauderish, this vehicle.
We're in a London cab with a V6 Ford engine for extra horsepower. This is a real fun drive, and it makes a little bit of noise as well.
Get ready for one hell of a ride.
Fire it up. Beautiful. Make your eyes water a little bit now. It's got slight understeer, you know, through the S's.
You gotta have balls of steel to drive in this car.
It's a lot of fun, always fun.
This is our gun turret, where we shoot at the Bentley, try to take them out from here. And this is the weapon that I use in the front here. This is where we load all the ammo inside, and then it just gets shot out with the pressure hose through the front here. Seal iron is about that size. This is what we use to open the brains of the people that we capture and take back to our, eat the brains out. You know, Marauders is pretty, it's all raping and pillaging and tearing, killing and eating raw meat. We're a pretty violent crowd, you know. I'd like to keep it like that. Definitely.
It's like a symphony orchestra.
Well, you like pain? I'm so this!
GIMP corner. I think they should put a sign up for it. It just, for whatever reason, when we first drew out the maps of what was going to happen on different stretches of this piece of road, and we selected this for the GIMP crash, that it became known as GIMP corner. And I think anybody of the South African crew who's ever going to come and film here again is always going to refer to it as GIMP corner.
This is a post smash up. If you see the movie, it drives through the caravan, everything explodes, it all looks great. So the GIMP's taken a bit of a hammering, unfortunately. Okay, so this is how you drive one. We only use the back end from an old Cortina, Ford Cortina. We basically use a Ford Cortina V6 engine and gearbox, and we designed all this lot to carry the front wheel, and it's remarkably stable. We test drove it. I thought it might be a bit of a handful because you drive it standing up, which is a bit scary to say the least. We got this vehicle up at also about 150 kilometers an hour, about 95 miles an hour, and yeah, it's good fun actually. It really is good fun. This one in the movie hits a motorbike and barrel rolls with large explosions and much flame. Here's the cannons. Explosive in there, the explosives in there.
The child that shoots the bolter, the expansion's still the one, the gas is still the one that expands. So the only thing they can give is the fire, which will go up.
Jackie, let's just do a final scout of where Mickey's going to be, make sure. I know we've checked, let's just double check.
In the car chase, we flipped the transit van sort of backside over nose. We rehearsed that a few times. That for me personally was the gag of the movie for me.
Perfect somersault.
Gee, I think good for an island, eh?
How was it?
How was it? Rough.
Yes.
Rough.
How was it for camera? Fantastic, I would have thought.
Fantastic. But this is what a vehicle looks like after you put two cannons in the back, rolled it over, flung it onto its roof and back onto its wheels again. And it's pretty much destroyed. This one's going to go straight to the scrap heap.
We have several things in Doomsday that's never been seen on screen before.
The Marauder weapons. Simon and Neil Marshall let us really run with that. Instead of going to the traditional chainsaw, it's quite a nice opportunity, and at the distance we'd hopefully never see that that's not turning. You can see the guy actually starting it up and try and do a little bit of a smoke effect, and then he disappears into the cell.
Brilliant.
Whether she wants to pull it like that, or whether she wants to draw it from that side.
Just in terms of how she's going to pull it out, that is perfect place.
Yeah, and it looks good.
And it's going to balance the gun. Yeah, it's perfect.
In scene 17, she has borrowed an eyeball, a patch, and an assault rifle. Okay, we've got the eyeballs, which she sort of will be feeding through, looking around corners and things.
One of the really good things about my job is finding interesting things to add to what we're doing in the film. Ronan's character has to have an iPod, but it's almost like a watch. There's always a challenge because filmmaking is all about being challenged, and that's really why we do it, I think. There's always a challenge to come up with something that's different. For me personally, it was coming up with something that's futuristic, but not so futuristic that it's, in the realms of Star Trek or something like that. It's got to be believable, but it's still got to have some interest.
Blacken it slightly, put a bit of interesting aging on it.
Aging, you mean? Silver.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be aged, it's supposed to be brand new.
Brand new, but just to give it a bit of something.
Prototype. Silicon foam grenade.
This is frontline equipment.
A going away present from Canaris.
Fantastic. Yeah, we'll showpiece all of these things.
We had to come up with ideas of making scavenged weapons. That's how we came up with things like these sort of props made out of old saw blades and things, and baseball bats that have had their own little homemade nails and things welded on. Before we could make any soft weapons, tricky thing with them was that we had to make hard ones first. So we had to actually go out to steel makers and blacksmiths and artists, and we had to go and make really lethal hard weapons, which, you know, that's where a weapon like that came from. You know, that's an old spanner with old saw blades and bits of spikes and things on, but that's really dangerous. You know, and from the script and everything, we knew there were going to be a lot of stunts, and so we could hardly ever, unless it was a really styled shot, we could hardly ever use something like that. It's heavy. This prop weighs about 3.5 kilograms, and could certainly kill, as could this scavenged old garden fork. From there, we worked out with fabricators how we could duplicate things in soft, and that's where we came up with water jet cutting multiple saw blades and things like that, and then molding things like nails, and to keep the cost down. And I think it's remarkable what we actually did with the budget we had for these weapons. I'd say we probably had about 50 or 60 weapons of different shapes and sizes, softs and hard.
This is the gun that would be carried by Eden Sinclair, Major Eden Sinclair. It's unique in the sense that I'm very proud because I designed it. So it's one of a kind. Well, actually, it's two of a kind because they made two of them. But I thought it would be, interesting to have an old gun. It's an old Walther P38, James Bond style 60s, spy gun with an additional barrel extension on it and a flash suppressor. She's kind of into old-fashioned things, but remade to be practical and useful for her. So yeah, it's kind of a one-of-a-kind design for this film, and I'm very, very proud and pleased with it. It's very cool. Nice little gun.
Once again, I mean, this is a reliable weapon. It's fully automatic, so you get a lot of fashion front, etc., etc.
I haven't really gone for Bryant, actually. We should have it in a holster, like...
Yeah, a brown one.
Yeah. Balanced for spinning.
Their flash is nice, their safety is quite hectic.
Dirty Hoskins.
Yeah. Action!
Some of the other ones that we're using is this crazy looking thing, which is actually a pump action shotgun, and along with the machine gun, which I'll show you in a minute, is South African designed. It's a South African company that makes it. Nowhere else in the world has it, and no film has ever used it before, so it's going to be sort of first time on screen, and it's a pretty mad looking science fiction thing. Well, our DDS team that go into the hot zone carry these. They're kind of very specialist weapons for them. In terms of the film, again, it's a South African design, so as far as I know, no one's ever used it on film before, and when making a film like this, it's important to have something fresh, something new. But what's great about it is it's not like some complete science fiction weapon. It's not completely outrageous. It is a fully functioning weapon. It's a real gun.
I've had just really good people. I've had such a good time working with such good people.
You alright? Fine. Welcome to No Man's Land. What's his name?
We're going to punch him for the close-up.
And so much of it is about that. They're so cool. It's just the level of imagination.
Like when you have your careers chat at school, they say, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to hang out the side of a car getting bashed in the face by some weird geezer. It's a bizarre thing, life, isn't it, how it turns out.